A wise man once said, new is always better. So naturally, I had to test that wisdom. The new Nord kit, the OnePlus Nord 6, is stepping into a ring it wasn't even invited to a year ago, going up against the OnePlus 13R. And here's the thing, the Nord 6 isn't cheap anymore. It starts at 38,999 for the 8 plus 256GB variant, uncomfortably close to the 13R at 41,999 for 12 plus 256GB. But there's one more contender you can't ignore, the OnePlus 13s. Sitting higher up, promising that full flagship experience and priced under 50,000 rupees. It makes you wonder if stretching a budget just a little further might actually be the smarter move. So, I put all three through their paces to answer one simple question. Does new actually mean better this time? Because the answer isn't as obvious as you'd think. Let's get into it, but first, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, all three look different up close. The 13R has a circular camera island, the 13s goes squarish with two cameras stacked vertically. The Nord 6 is more squared off with two separate camera rings and the flash. The 13R is one of the last OnePlus phones with the alert slider. The 13s and Nord 6 both use the new plus key. I love the alert slider, but the plus key has grown on me. The 13R in Nebula Noir and the 13s in Green Silk look clean and understated. The Nord 6 in Quicksilver has a ribbon-like design that feels more futuristic. The 13s and Nord 6 attract fingerprints and smudges easily. The 13R handles that much better. The 13R and 13s use aluminium frame and glass backs. The 13s also adds a soft, velvety finish and is the easiest to handle thanks to its compact size. The Nord 6 uses a plastic frame and polycarbonate back. Solid but not as premium. Durability is where the Nord 6 wins. It gets IP66, IP68, IP69, IP69K and military standard 810H. The other two only get IP65. The 13R and 13s use Gorilla Glass 7i. The Nord 6 uses OnePlus's Crystal Glass instead. All three get NFC, Wi-Fi 7, USB 2.0 Type-C and IR Blaster. The 13R has Bluetooth 5.4 while the other two have 6.0. Only the 13s supports eSIM. For displays, the OnePlus 13s gets a smaller 6.32-inch 1.5K panel, while the 13R and Nord 6 go bigger with 6.78-inch 1.5K displays. But the key difference is that the 13s and 13R use LTPO panels while the Nord 6 uses LTPS, which is less efficient on battery. In real use though, all three are great for content. HDR looks fantastic everywhere, but Dolby Vision is only on 13s and 13R. The Nord 6 misses out. Where the Nord 6 pulls away is refresh rate. It goes up to 165Hz in games like BGMI in Call of Duty Mobile. The other two stick to 120Hz. All three are pretty bright. The 13R and 13s goes up to 1600 nits in HBM mode. The Nord 6 does 1800 nits. Now, all three get stereo speakers. The Nord 6 is the loudest with its 300% mode, but to me the other two sound better. For performance, the 13s runs the Snapdragon 8 Elite, the 13R packs the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and the Nord 6 comes with the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4. All three get LPDDR5X RAM and for storage, the Nord 6 gets UFS 4.1 while the other two stick to UFS 4.2. In daily use, all three feel quick, apps open up quick, multitasking is slick, everything's buttery smooth. Benchmarks tell a different story though. In Antutu, the 13s pulls ahead as the Snapdragon 8 Elite is extremely powerful, but the Nord 6 and 13R sit much closer than I expected. 3D Mark surprised me more. The 13s held the best stability and loop scores. The Nord 6 ended up with the weakest stability and lowest loop numbers. Gaming flips things around. The Nord 6 pushes up to 165 FPS in BGMI using frame generation. The 13s and 13R are capped at 120 FPS and that difference is easy to see. Camera-wise, the 13R has the better setup. You get a 50 megapixel main with OIS, a 50 megapixel telephoto and an 8 megapixel ultra-wide. The 13s drops the ultra-wide but keeps the telephoto lens. The Nord 6 does the opposite. No tele, but you do get an ultra-wide. In daylight, all three do a solid job on the main camera. The 13s gets colors the most accurate. The 13R looks slightly darker with added saturation. The Nord 6 adds a noticeable yellow tint. The 13s loses points for skipping the ultra-wide. Between the 13R and Nord 6, detail is similar, but I prefer the 13R's color. Zoom is clearly the 13R's win. Even at 20x, it holds up better. The 13s shows a halo effect while the Nord 6 looks messy. Low light again goes to the 13R. The other two struggle in tricky scenes. Video at 4K 60 shows the 13R leading with better colors and stabilization. The 13s is close while the Nord 6 just trails slightly. For selfies, the 13R gets 16 megapixel without autofocus. The other two get 32 megapixel with autofocus and 4K 30 support, while the 13R is limited to 1080p 30. Now, I won't go deep into Oxygen OS 16 here since we have covered it before, but it remains one of the best Android skins right now. The 13s and 13R launched with Oxygen OS 15 based on Android 15 but have been updated. Now, all three run Oxygen OS 16 based on Android 16. The experience is genuinely smooth. All three are promised 4 years of OS updates and 6 years of security patches. Just keep in mind the 13s and 13R have already used one major update. For battery and charging, the 13s gets 5850 mAh battery, the 13R bumps that to 6000 mAh, and the Nord 6 gets a massive 9000 mAh cell, the biggest in any OnePlus phone. It easily lasts over 2 days. The 13R and 13s can handle a full day, with the 13R stretching slightly longer. All three support 80-watt Superbook charging. The 13s is quickest at around 50 minutes, the 13R is close at 50 to 55 minutes, while the Nord 6 takes over an hour and 20 minutes. No wireless charging here, but you do have reverse wired charging. 27 watt on Nord 6 and 5 watt on the other two. So, which one do you pick? Well, the 13R gets my vote. It nails the basics, has the most complete cameras, and feels the most balanced. The 13s is faster and more premium, but skipping the ultra-wide hurts. The Nord 6 brings insane battery and 165Hz gaming, but weaker cameras and stability hold it back. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments or which one would you pick. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.